It's progressives. They started 100 years ago and steered us into this course. And those progressive mistakes are about to catch up with us. The party is over. It's been fun, but it's over. It's time to do the right thing so our children, they're not going to have necessarily a party, but at least they can have some cake. We have to be willing to make sacrifices of our own. You know, we build these Taj Mahal, these palaces for schools. Why do we need those? I hate to go all the way back to this, and I know it's a TV show, but I was in love with Laura Ingalls. You remember Little House on the Prairie? Or actually, it was Mary. That was Mary Ingalls, right? I mean, this is the way people used to live. You remember their schoolhouse? How about Spanky and Our Gang? I know, they're movies. These were our parents or our grandparents. They didn't always get everything they wanted. They didn't have everything handed to them on a silver platter. They survived. In fact, this is the greatest American generation. We can do it without big government and fancy houses and everything else. Yeah, it might be tough. I mean, since when has the tough thing become just a burden? Take your mom and dad. Our moms and dads, they cared for us. They changed our diapers. They fed us. They raised us. But now so many of us wouldn't even consider taking them in, that they're old and frail. I mean, I understand that, you know, sometimes you can't do it because it's too difficult. But I mean, sure, they smell weird and they suck on Werther's Originals all day, but they're our parents. I went over to a friend's house the other day. He was taking care of his mom. I had a hard time because I saw the pain in his eyes as he watches his mom get older. I remember his mom when she wasn't so old. But I also saw something else in the eyes of his mother. I saw gratitude in his mom's eyes. No government program can ever replace that. No other program can ever give you that. Sure, they can prop us up for a while. They can pay for some of our things, make life maybe a little bit easier. But easier isn't better. The greatest American generation, they're not called great because it was easy. Our grandparents didn't eat large sandwiches and ration food and win World War II because it was easy, fun, free, or fair. Can you imagine landing on the beaches of Omaha? What the hell do you have to do with these people over here, you must have thought? They did it because it had to be done. Things in America must be done. We must find the leaders that can lead us and help us and reassure us that we're going to be okay. It's just going to be tough. We have to make a choice. We're either going to be restored or fundamentally transformed. It's one of those two, but only one ends in real freedom. The one that takes the hard work and the sacrifice, that one is the one worth doing. Back in a minute. Look, America is a society based on merit, not entitlement. We're talking about economic solutions today, not just the problems, but the solutions. And when you talk about it, it's almost sacrilegious to dare even bring up Social Security or Medicare. It's as if those programs just fell from the sky right out of heaven into the laps of our founding fathers. But the problem is, we don't know history. We don't know our own history. Our founders would have rejected such concepts if they had been, as if they had been spat up from the bowels of hell. Far from a birthright or any kind of right, these programs were instituted not in the 18th century, not in the 19th, but just a few years ago in the 20th century. In fact, Herbert Hoover, he got the snowball rolling. Remember the evil Republican didn't care about anybody, Herbert Hoover? 1932, he passed the Emergency Relief and Construction Act. Then FDR pushed an avalanche of social programs down a hill. The avalanche that is now crushing any kind of ski lodge that might have been there beneath. FDR knew exactly, full well, exactly what he was doing. He said, and I quote, "We put those payroll contributions in there so to give the contributors a legal, moral, and political right to collect those pensions. With those taxes, no damn politician can ever scrap my Social Security program." He knew that once Americans expected those payments at a certain age, oh, we'd never let go of them. When we talk about cutting Social Security, I don't want to scare Grandma and Grandpa, and even my dad and mom. I don't want to think anybody's going to take away their Social Security. I'm talking about people like me who are coming into the system. You know, I've still got years and I can still work. It's over. I don't want to live on Social Security. I don't want the government to be responsible. Have you seen the way they care for people? When you give up your responsibility, you give up rights. Benjamin Franklin said, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." And we're not going to get either of them. That's usually associated with the security of the nation's defense, but it applies, I think, to Social Security as well. From time to time, the government was tempted to get involved in things it shouldn't before the progressives took hold in America, but we always push back. 1887. 1887 in Texas, several Texas counties faced a long drought, and farmers were losing their crops. I don't know, maybe it must have been early, global warming from cow flatulence. I don't know. But Texas, the politicians helped convince Congress to grant $10,000 worth of free seeds for the distressed farmers. Well, the bill passed the House, then it passed the Senate. And it had to go to the White House. Grover Cleveland was in office. He vetoed it. He said, and I quote, "It will destroy the partitions between the proper subjects of federal and local care and regulation. I can find no warrant for such an appropriation in the Constitution." To add insult to injury, Cleveland added, "The friendliness and charity of our countrymen can always be relied upon to relieve their fellow citizens in misfortune." Yes, because we're Americans. But now people will say, "Oh, well, why did Grover Cleveland hate farmers so much?" Or maybe it was Texas. Are they different than him somehow? Why does he want to starve children? The answer, of course, he didn't hate any of those groups or people. He loved the Constitution, and, more importantly, he trusted the American people. In the end, how did it work out? $10,000 was appropriated. It didn't go. Oh, the suffering. The contributions from the neighbors and the citizens from all over the country totaled more than $100,000, or 10 times what Congress wanted to give them. What would life be like in America if we suddenly did the same thing? If we started trusting in the Constitution and trusting in the American people? I'm guessing things might get a lot better.